we can now go on.
Mhm.
So for the project information, you're able to see that this screen is appearing, and
Mhm.
you know how to or when to indicate that this is the start date for the project. The current
Yes.
date is the date for today.
Yeah, it says 10th June. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the finish date is supposed to be scheduled by the project.
Mhm.
So tentatively, the system is telling us that the finish date is Monday 09
Yeah.
06. It's like it is telling us that maybe the project has been completed or maybe it has not been completed, depending on the start date of the project and the duration
Mm.
for each and every activity, because that is what determines now the finish date for the project.
Yeah.
Again, there is what you call the status date. We agreed that when you are setting up your plan, before you start entering the task manually, always remember to indicate the status date. When the project is starting, should be the same as what you call the status date.
Yeah.
The calendar, we say that we have three types of calendar, but the most common one is the standard calendar.
Yes.
In the standard calendar, normally say that this project is running for 8 days. I mean, for 5 days in a week and eight
Yeah.
hours in a day. But of course, you can be able to change the date for which maybe the project is running. We rarely use night shift, but in case you have night shift, you can always try to work with that particular calendar for the night shift. So the other part that is very, very important to us on this
Mhm.
particular window here is this part called statistics. Sometimes you may be asked to give the summary of the cost of the project,
Mhm.
and from this point you can be able to check how much the project is going to cost the organization. So you simply click statistic. I hope you can see statistics.
Yeah, I can see.
So you click statistics, it's going to open another window here.
Okay, let me just click it. I was looking at yours
Mhm.
so that to know. So I've clicked statistics.
Yes.
So there is a window, project statistics.
Mhm.
For John exercise, the title.
Mhm.
It has a start and finish.
Mhm.
Current is Friday 30th. I
Mhm.
think this is the one we have set. And then Monday
Yes.
9th June.
Mhm. Then there is the baseline.
Baseline, not applicable, not applicable. Then actual, then variance.
Yes. So I wanted you to
So,
confirm that the baseline has not
yes.
been set. We have not actually
Ah,
set the baseline. That is why it is saying not
uh-huh.
applicable. Also, the actual,
How do we define the baseline?
we are going to define it
Is
shortly.
the, okay, sorry, let me not
It,
go ahead of
no,
you.
it's okay. It's okay. It's good to ask.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes I may overlook something, and maybe when you
Yeah,
comment about it, it might be able to trigger my mind
it
that
triggers it. Sure, sure, sure.
something that we skipped.
Yeah.
We have the variance. The variance now is the difference between what you planned according to the baseline and now the
Yeah.
actual cost. So it could be
Mhm.
in terms of what we call duration, and
Mm.
maybe sometimes we normally have variance in terms of cost. You had budgeted for 100 shillings, you have spent
Yeah.
150 shillings, so you have gone beyond the budget of the project.
Uh-huh.
So if the budget is telling us that you're supposed to spend 200 bob, then
Mhm.
we go ahead and spend 250. We are doing what you call, there is the issue of budget overrun in that particular project.
Mhm.
If you go below the budget, for example, you had planned for 90 shillings, you have spent, for example, 80 shillings. We normally say there is an EVM, there is what we call the earned value management, because there is something that you have earned. You are supposed to have spent this, but you have spent it less than what you are supposed to spend. Even in terms of days, we normally talk about the earned value. You had planned that the project will be completed in the next 10 days, but you have completed the project in 8 days. What does it mean?
Mhm.
There is something that you are earning. There is earned value. So we are
Mhm.
going to see it in when we are now. when it comes to reporting. Now, below this part here, there is duration, we have work. So if you look at this one, the baseline here is for the date.
Mm-hmm.
That is when or the duration.
Yeah.
This one is for the work and cost and also the duration. And
Yes. Yes.
this one, for example, we have the current duration is 7 days. We have actually spent 7 days. Current, what we have spent is 7 days. We have spent 7 days. Then there
Mm-hmm.
is work. How many time have we spent in that particular project? We have spent 148 hours in that project. And what is the cost of that? The cost of that is 110,500 Kenya shillings. 110,500 Kenya shillings. Then
Okay.
what
So in
about the
terms of,
baseline? Yes,
sorry, Francis,
it's okay.
it's only that you cannot see my raised hand.
Oh yeah,
So I have the current duration as 7 days,
yes.
work 132 hours,
132 hours.
costs one 115. But we can reconcile that at a later time.
Yeah,
I can that can be my homework.
yeah. Maybe you can check. There is
Um,
maybe
mhm.
there is some work that has not been accounted for because if
I'll
you have
check.
132, that means they are about 16 hours
16 hours is a lot.
that are missing somewhere.
Maybe one of the calculations we were doing,
Yeah, most likely.
especially for the, you remember the consultants who are
Hmm.
at times 2 days.
Yeah, and
I'll
also
check that.
and
Hmm.
also linking the task. The way we link the task and also the predecessors, that
Yes.
could also affect the maybe the call. But that doesn't have a lot of issues.
No,
If
because
you
I
know
have
how,
I have hours and I have work,
yeah,
a figure under work and a figure under cost.
yes. So that should
Okay.
never worry you so much.
Yeah. Please proceed.
Then there is cost.
Yes.
So what does it mean? It simply means that by spending 7 days in this project,
Hmm.
it means that we are going to spend 148 hours. That is for work or for the human resource.
Yeah.
And also, we are going to spend 110,500 Kenya shillings. Although so far, that is the status of the project.
Hmm.
So far, we have spent that money.
Mhm.
Then there is the actual and there is what you call the baseline. If you look at them, they are zeros. 0 days, 0 hours, 0 Kenya shillings.
Yes.
You know the reason why we are having these zeros?
Hmm.
It's because we have not set the baseline. The baseline is the starting point. It is the one that will help us to track how the project is progressing.
Yeah.
So it is also telling us that the remaining is seven. We have remaining 7 days, 148 hours. That is what actually we have spent.
Hmm.
So below there, you can be able to see percentage complete. That is duration is zero,
Yes.
work is
And
zero,
work is also zero.
work is zero. Now, I
Hmm.
want us to do something. Then we come back again to that particular tab. I
Okay.
want you to mark that insertion is complete. You remember how to mark it?
That the initiation is complete.
Yes. I want you to mark that the insertion is complete.
So I close this statistic window first.
Yes, yes. You close that statistic window.
Okay. And the initiation is complete.
Mhm. It is 100% complete.
100%. Yeah. So under the task,
Mm-hmm.
there is 0, 25, 50, and 100.
Mm-hmm.
But do I highlight only the 1.1 in initiation, the face, or I
Yes,
highlight
yes,
all of
yes.
them, just the face?
The face. So when you highlight the
Then
face and say it is 100, it's going to mark,
then I click 100.
or it is going to mark what is below that face.
Yeah, it has their ticks.
Mm-hmm. So once
Yeah,
you
their
mark it
ticks
as
on the.
complete, Or
Yes,
maybe you
100%.
mark that it is on track. Maybe we can mark it is on track.
Oh, I undo. I had marked the 100%.
It's all right. You can go ahead and mark that it is on track. So the project is on track.
Mark on track.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have marked on track.
So selected task, so that set the selected task so they are on the schedule as per the status date. So once you select, for example, the task here, and you say
Mhm.
that you are within the time frame, you are within the budget, you are within the time, so you can mark it
Yeah.
as what? We are on track.
Oh, mark is on track. Okay.
Yeah, we are now on track on that particular, on those particular activities. You can also say that we have completed, maybe, or maybe we are on track on these. You can just
Yeah.
highlight them. You mark them as well.
Yeah. Oh, now planning, eh?
Yes, you mark
Just the sub activities, eh?
the sub activities. Yes, you
Okay.
can mark
So
them.
that was under planning, eh?
Hmm. Or you can mark the interface. You can decide to mark the interface.
Oh, okay. And I just say we are on
Hmm.
track. I don't say a percentage, eh?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I just say we
So
are on track. Huh?
I want us to go back to the project tab.
Okay.
After project tab, we move to project information.
Project information.
Yes. Then
Mm-hmm.
statistics again.
All right. Yes, I'm there.
What can you see?
I can see that now this line is still NA,
Mm-hmm.
but actual is 30th. There is a date. Our start date has is now under actual.
Mm-hmm.
And now actual again,
Mm-hmm.
I have 1.79 days.
Mm-hmm.
Work is 40 hours. Although I know remember my figures for work and cost.
Yeah, yes, I
What
want
if,
you to read
but now we
yours.
have, but we have a figure now for under work, under actual.
Mm-hmm.
At the start, at the date part there,
Mm-hmm.
so it's Friday 30th of May 2025. And then the below section,
Mm-hmm.
actual is 1.79 days and work 40 hours cost 20,000. Now there is remaining
Mm-hmm.
5.21
Mm-hmm.
duration.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the work figures, there's also a balance.
What about the percentage of work completed?
Oh, yeah, I'm reading down. Percentage of work complete duration 26%,
Mm-hmm.
work 30%.
Okay, all right. Now, it's because you have already marked this as complete.
Yeah.
You have already marked that one as complete. I want us to go back again and select that we have completed the planning phase.
All right.
We say
So
that
we go back.
we have completed the planning phase again.
All right. So task, then 100%. It has ticked. Yeah.
Now,
Planning phase. Yes.
let me explain something that when you're using this program,
Yeah.
uh, you are supposed now to mark it yourself. So once you
Mm-hmm.
complete an activity, you sit down and mark it. That one has already been completed, but you are guided by the program.
Yeah.
We go back again to the same tab, that is project tab,
Yes.
and
Project
this
information.
time I want us to go to the schedule group, still on the same tab, that is project tab, schedule group.
Okay. Project. The scheduled.
Hmm.
I have project information, custom fields, links,
Hmm.
WBS, change working time, calculate project,
Hmm.
set baseline. Yeah, the schedule group. I'm there.
Yes, yes. Now, if you remember, when we are doing the back view setup or the back view settings, there
Mhm.
is somewhere under the schedule, there is somewhere we say that the system should auto calculate the project.
Mm-hmm.
So because we are now we had actually put that on, we don't need to hit this to calculate the project because the system is automatically updating itself
Yeah.
because we selected this part, and from the back view settings we are able to set it on, so it is already updated. The program is, or the schedule is already updated, so we don't need to focus on this. But if you had done it manually without auto updating, that means you have to keep on coming here and updating the project to ensure that everything is working properly. But ours is automatic. It is whenever you make changes, the system automatically updates itself. So we don't need that one. So I want us to set the baseline. So when you are scheduling for the project, we have a maximum of 11 baseline.
Mm-hmm.
So you may decide to put a baseline for the entire project so that it can help you now to track the entire project, or you can decide to put a baseline for tasks. For example, at under the initiation, you can put what? A baseline. Under planning, you can put a baseline, under execution the same. But for my case, I normally prefer adding the baseline for the entire project. So there is this option for the baseline. So you can set what you call the baseline. And now you can, we have two types of baseline. I mean, not two types. We have 11 rather, not two types. You have 11. So inclusive of this, we have 11.
Okay. Baseline one, two. Okay.
So we have 11 baseline. But for my case, instead of setting what you call interim, I normally set it for the entire project. I don't actually select the task, I select the entire project and hit OK. So set the baseline for the entire project. So for the entire project.
Okay.
If you set interim, it's going to activate this part here. That is from start to finish or from when to when. For example, you can have
Okay.
such kind of baseline. Although I don't like such kind of baseline, I want the system to track everything.
Hmm.
So I'll set for the entire project, then I hit OK.
So set baseline,
Yes.
then in the drop down, because I will say entire project.
Mm-hmm.
So roll up baselines. Okay, it's not active.
Mm.
Okay, so I just say okay.
You say OK.
Yeah, and I've said for entire project.
Now I want us to go back again to project information tab, and we click statistics.
Okay. We are there at statistics.
Can you see there are some changes when it comes to baseline and variance?
Yes.
Yeah, there are
So
changes.
there is baseline
Mm-hmm.
has become 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
There is still an actual
Mm-hmm.
3.95 and there's remaining 3.05.
Yes.
I'm just at the duration.
Mm-hmm.
And then the duration, the percentage complete now is 56.48.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Isn't that
Yeah, that
more
is
than
correct.
100?
That is correct. The
Okay.
duration, we have spent 56% of the work,
Oh, yeah, sure.
and now, I mean 54 or 56. So
Mm.
the work that is complete is now at 54%. So at
Yeah.
this point, you can now be able to report to the stakeholders. You can be able to tell them now our project is now at maybe 56% complete. Or I mean 54% complete, depending on what the schedule is showing you from that particular window. Again, you can also tell them that maybe the remaining amount that you are supposed now to spend in the project is around 67,500. What you have already
Yes.
spent is 43.
Yes.
What you have spent is 43,000 Kenya shillings. So the entire project cost is supposed to cost us 110,500. That is the baseline. That is what we had budgeted.
Mm.
Yeah. Uh, so that
So
is.
for the
The
work,
work,
Mhm.
it
it
is in
is in
hours, but
hours,
we
but
had
we had
input
input
budget
budget
figures.
figures.
Work is what in terms of hours? Yes, because it is dealing with the people and also machines if there is.
So
So
this
this
cost
cost
Mhm.
has
has
considered
considered
the way
the
we
way
were
we were
budgeting for
budgeting for
both
both
work
work
Yes,
and
and
material costs.
material
material
costs,
Yes,
cost,
everything.
everything.
anything that we entered here. At the end of the
Then
day,
Then
by the
in
time we are completing the project, we should have,
yeah.
like now, I want us to hit the, let's go back again, and I want you to hit, assume execution. We have completed execution. Just mark it as 100%. M&E the same.
Oh, okay.
Also
Am I the
closure
same?
or closing phase. Mark it as complete. You can also mark the post-implementation review as complete.
Okay.
So assume you have completed your project. Now I want us to go back to project tab again
Just hold on. Let me.
and you check the statistic of the project.
Yeah.
So there is something that it is telling us.
Mhm.
There is no
Okay.
variance. Can you see there is no variance?
Yeah, I've
Yeah, I've
just
just
finished.
finished.
Let me
Let me
just go
just go
back
back
Mhm.
there.
there
Yeah,
was
more
statistics.
statistics.
Yes,
Yes,
there's
there is
no
no
variance
variance
and
and
duration
duration
100,
100,
work
work
100.
100.
Then what about the remaining in terms of cost?
Then
14,500.
14,500.
I
I
know
know
my
my
figures in
figures in
yours have
yours
a
have a
variance, but
variance, but there's a
there's a
balance
balance
there.
there.
What about the actual?
Actual
Actual
97,000.
97,000.
97,000. So,
Mm.
so what does it mean? So remember, I want you to take you
Mhm.
back. If you look at my screen,
Let me
Let me
look at
look
it.
at your
community
screen.
awareness project.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So closure phase has 4 days, monitoring one
Yeah.
day, there is
Yes.
execution 3 days, there is what you call planning phase 6 days, then there is initiation phase 5
5
5
days.
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 What does it mean? Because like now, let me give you a summary of whole project. Let me show you the summary by reducing this, by reducing this, by reducing this, by reducing this. So does the summary add up to 7 days?
No,
No,
it
it
does
does
not.
not.
Mhm.
And
And
it's
it's
off.
off. The
For me
For me
now,
now,
the
the
community
community
because
because
the
the
community
community
awareness
awareness
training
training
project
project
is the
is the
entire
entire
project.
Yes,
project.
how many
The
days?
The
days
days
the
the
days for
days
the
for the
sub
sub
activities
activities
should
should
add up.
add up.
So
So
that's
Should add
that's
up.
11,
11,
14,
14,
15. Are
15.
they
Are they
19?
19?
Yeah, that is 9 plus. Actually, yeah, they are 19.
Mm.
Hmm.
So
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 how did
how
the
did the
7
seven
come
come
then?
there?
so now if we go back again to the project and click
Yeah.
statistics,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know what this cost is telling us?
Hmm.
That there is what we call, I mean, you have not spent the entire 110. There is something that you saved, which is
Mm.
Hmm.
14,500.
Yes.
Yes.
So it is telling us there is what you call the earned value. There is a value that you have earned here, which
Hmm.
is not true because if you look at the phase, it's not adding up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is something we need to do. We might have unlinked this task, and maybe probably that is the reason why they did not do what they did not give us the right figure, isn't it?
Hmm.
So we
Hmm.
can decide to try to say that this has not been completed. This is at zero. You can select each phase and return it to 0%.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we
Can we
highlight
highlight
and
and
You can try.
can
Me,
we
I'm doing it one by one.
Okay. Yes.
When you link
Highlight.
now, we can change our schedule into manual scheduling here
Mm-hmm.
and
Just
convert it into manual scheduling. Why? Because I want
yeah.
to check whether if I link the duration, whether they will be able to give me the right word, the right figure. I want
Yeah.
to
So
link them, but
just hold on. You've highlighted.
the
You
first
need
one.
to highlight 1.6 also.
Not at all, because it will not affect my project in any way. It has zero duration. It's a milestone.
It has it. So I click my faces and go to and click manual scheduling.
Yes, you return it to manual scheduling,
Mm-hmm.
and we try to link. I'm trying to link these tasks to see.
And then when we are still there, we link.
Yes, we can just link them. We can also convert this into what we call auto scheduling. This one we can convert it into auto scheduling. But remember, there are some activities that are happening at the same time.
Yeah, I remember them.
So we may not have the entire 19 days here because there are some activities that
Oh,
are
you're
sharing
very
what.
right. You're very right.
Yeah, so the
But
but now the system has recalculated. It is not 7 as it was saying.
mm,
It should be more than 7. So if I open this,
mine has 11. I don't know. I'm still auto scheduling.
mhm,
Do I need to auto schedule the last activity? Although you said it has no
you
effect.
can auto schedule it so that it can actually pick the last day of project completion.
So I have 11 days now.
11 days. Okay, let's
Mm,
go to the project tab again.
okay.
We check the project information, that is statistics.
Mhm.
Can you see what it is telling us?
Now,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the duration is 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
I know my hours and yours, but it's 132 hours, 115,
Mm-hmm.
111, 500,
Mm-hmm.
and it's telling me the remain.
The
Like
remaining,
it's like 11 is no actual is zero by the way.
yes. So I wanted us to be at the same or in the same point. So I want us to complete or to assume that we have already completed the initiation phase.
Mhm.
We select the initiation phase and we mark it as 100%.
All right.
So let's
Done.
go back again to the project tab and check the project information statistics.
Uh, by the way, I'm still at the minimize the faces. I've not opened dropped down
Okay, you
will
can
that affect
maximize
my
it. There is no problem.
I need yeah, I'm still at the minimization. Okay. So it will not affect
It will not
the
affect, yeah.
yeah, okay, no problem.
So we can
So I
just
go to
assume that we have already
project
completed that activity.
statistics.
So we can link
So
this.
I have mhm.
We can
My
actually.
actual has now
Mhm,
become 2.82 days,
mhm.
work 40 hours and cost 20,000. And now I have a remaining. And then the duration 26%, work 30%.
Okay, all right. Uh, so there is, if you look at me, I've selected up to monitoring. I'm actually not monitoring, actually execution phase.
Yeah.
And up to the execution phase, it's like I'm now at 70% work complete and 72. So this one is a bit realistic,
Yeah.
depending on
You said
the what
up
it
to
is.
execution phase.
Yes, up to the execution.
That's project information statistics. Yes, 72%
So
duration.
up to that point,
Yeah.
the system is realistic.
Yes.
And the other part that I want us to look still at the same tab, that is the project tab. We don't need to custom fields. We don't. There is nothing to custom here. For the resources, there is nothing we need to custom here. But for the changing working time, this is where I want us to spend our time
Mhm.
on changing working time,
Mhm.
and we can unselect these activities. We assume that they are still at 0%, so we unselect them and we expand our faces like that.
You said we assume they are still at 0%. Huh?
Yes, at 0%.
Okay, then we open them up. We expand them.
Yes, expand them.
Okay, all right.
Once we have done that, there is something I want us to do.
I've remembered to save just in case it goes off.
Hmm? Yes.
I'm saying I've remembered to save to
Okay.
save the changes we've made so that
Okay. Mm, so if you're there, are you there?
I'm there, I'm there, I'm there.
Okay. All right.
I'm
So,
looking at your screen. But right now I'm looking at your screen first.
oh, it's okay.
Or
It's
do I
okay.
click? I can click the change time and listen as you progress.
Mm-hmm.
So I go there, you as you
Yes.
asked. Project change time. Okay.
So it's going to open
There's a
this.
calendar. Yeah. Change working time.
Yes, it is going now to open what you
Yes.
call the calendar or changing working
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Number one, I want us to first of all focus on this Excel sheet, like this one.
The below one, eh?
Yes. So this one
Okay.
has what we call exemptions,
Mm.
and I
Yeah,
want
exceptions. Yeah.
yes, I want
Mm-hmm.
us to add exemptions.
Mm-hmm.
Exemption number one is what we call Madaraka Day,
Mm.
because assume you are not going to work on Madaraka Day. So that is our Madaraka Day. We want to add it as what?
Mm.
As an exemption. So when did it take place? Was it on Sunday?
The date, I think I know it
Let's say
was
date 2.
1st June.
Hmm.
So at the start, I put 1st June when the day it on the day it was.
Yes, Madaraka Day. Then you start date and when it ended, because it took just a day.
But we took the holiday on 2nd.
On second, exactly.
So yeah, so we talk of 2nd.
Yeah,
Oh, even the finish I have to be specific.
you must be very
It
specific.
says it is ending today, the Madaraka Day.
Hmm.
Okay, so from 2nd to 2nd.
Hmm.
Okay.
We go to or we move to another one.
So I've noticed that up
Mm-hmm.
there it says 02nd June 2025 is non-working,
Mm-hmm. That is what it
and
is saying.
then
Yes, exactly.
it
That
is
is
indicated.
correct.
And then based on exception Madaraka Day.
Hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
All right.
I want us to add another exemption. Tell me which exemption to add.
Are we just talking about
Any other?
non-working day?
Yes, non-working day. Any other?
Yeah, you see now we had that week was God sent because even Friday became a holiday.
Yeah, even Friday was it was what
Just say Eid
yeah,
holiday.
yeah, we can talk about Eid or other something like this.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we can say this was on Friday.
Yes.
Friday was
6th to 6th. Yeah.
that is sorry 6th. Yeah, 6 to
Yes,
6. We
6th.
can add another exemption.
Mm. So within this month, unless now we make up one.
Yeah, we can add others previous month like
Mm.
1st May.
Or we can go back on the calendar by
Mm-hmm.
scrolling up. There's a on the right.
Mm-hmm.
There's an arrow that I can use to scroll up. So
Yes,
first May.
yes, there is this.
Does it matter on the order that we didn't start with first May?
No, no, there is doesn't matter in any way.
So we can say Labor Day.
Yeah, everybody.
So that was first May.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the system has just known. I don't once I do the start finish first,
Mm-hmm.
even
Yeah,
the finish tab is first May.
automatically.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
So we can go back to 1st May again. It was on Thursday. We
It
can
was
add
on
another
Thursday.
one.
Yeah, maybe I don't know when our project started. I don't want to go to where our project had not started.
Mm-hmm.
Our project started and by the way, that's a consideration, Francis. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Our start date now, I might have to go back and check. But I'm saying it's good to consider when the. All right, so we can have another one maybe during May.
Yes, or even October. We don't know how long the project is going to take,
Mm.
but we can actually work with those three. There's no problem.
Yeah, just see
Can
how
work
it
with those
works.
three. Then we hit OK. Check whether it will change whatever that is on the screen.
Once I hit OK.
Mm-hmm.
So I know on the dates schedule, the start and finish dates,
Mm-hmm. Yes, you.
there is a change.
Sorry, what is? There is a different color that is appearing, right?
Yeah, on the start and finish dates, highlighted light blue, very light blue shade.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So it
Yeah.
has already taken effect.
Yes.
Then we move to something else. I want us to. So that those are called exemptions. So in case there is a holiday,
Mm.
you can be able to
So,
manipulate or adjust your calendar to accommodate what you call the exemption.
so what exactly has happened? So in the event, maybe stakeholder like task like number 4,
Mm-hmm.
stakeholder engagement and mobilization.
Mm-hmm.
If one of those days was second, it has moved to third.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to understand that. That's good.
We
Okay.
go back again
To where we
to
were
the same
at the
same.
changing time.
To the same. That is the project change working time.
Yes. Okay. I'm there.
Then I want us to focus on work weeks. Work weeks.
Yeah. After exceptions, it's work weeks.
Work weeks. Yes. So you can hit
Yes.
work weeks,
Yes.
and then you can maybe hit the details. You can see the tab. You can see the item
Yes.
here, the
There's
far end.
details. Yes.
Then, so we can decide that maybe there are three options there. Set working time for this week.
Mm.
So there is set days to non-working time. So you may find that maybe on Wednesday we are not going to work on Wednesday. Probably we want to rest on Wednesday, or maybe it is non-working time. We are considering it as a non-working time. Like for example,
Mm.
those who normally go to that is the 7th day. You may find
Mm.
if you're working for 6 days in a week, that is from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday up to Saturday, up to Friday.
Yes.
They do not report on Saturday.
Yeah.
So you may decide to set Saturday as a non-working time. So you can set the
Ah.
day as non-working time. Saturday, you set it as a non-working time.
And I'll do that by highlighting Saturday on the days and then on the, I said set days to non-working time.
Yes. When you
Okay.
click weeks, work weeks, you hit the details. You can always
Yes.
come here, set non-working time, and you select Saturday as non-working time.
Okay.
You do that, then you hit OK. So
I don't
anytime,
need to say from and to.
yeah, you just
It,
need
it
to.
you have
You can also
to
hit
set
that
that.
one. You can also hit OK.
Yes. Okay.
So we know
It's
that
done.
we don't work on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we go back again to the same.
To the work weeks.
Yes,
To the details. Okay.
yes, that is the working time. There's something else I
Wow.
want us to do here.
Okay.
So if you select, for example, weeks, so if you look at this, it is, I don't know whether it is active from your end. When you select this, it is not active. Weeks, eh?
Let
Can
me
you
see.
see when you try to type, it is not active?
Let me see the details first. Mine is typing very much.
The first one.
Why did I first one? The first one that is default, eh?
hmm
It's not, eh?
It's not typing, eh?
Yeah, it seems there's something I've clicked which I need to undo.
hmm
On the 10th of June, it's saying unnamed and then there's a start and finish date. Is it something I've done? I
Sorry,
can
come
just
again.
delete.
On.
I've deleted. It's okay.
All right.
I think I started typing things. Yeah, that one is inactive, Francis.
Okay. So on weeks,
Mhm.
we may consider that maybe the project manager might not be available on a certain date. So for this, we don't need to, we can actually do it differently. Let me show you. Can go back again and hit our change working time again.
Mhm. Mhm.
But now I want us to set a calendar here. Or you select the whatever that is below here, below the calendar.
Mhm.
Can you see there is items below the standard calendar?
Yeah, there's 24 hours, there's night shift, there's standard. I think ours is standard project calendar.
Below that.
It's quite a list. There's quite a list. Project manager, community liaison, enumerator.
hmm
Yeah.
Can you remember them, those resources?
I remember them. We when we were keying them in, I remember,
hmm
especially when we were budgeting.
hmm
If an item required maybe a trainer
Yeah,
and a photographer,
we add resource.
we had resource, yeah.
I want us to check, maybe we pick one of the trainers, or
Mhm.
not even one of the trainers. I want you to check M&E officer.
Okay.
We have a resource called M&E officer. So I want you to
Yeah.
exit that part. I want you to exit that window and you go back to the normal entry mode.
Okay.
And I want you to check where the M&E officer is appearing under the resource. So the M&E officer is appearing where? The M&E officer is appearing here. That is feedback. The M&E
Look at
officer has
this.
been selected here. Where is that? Yeah, the M&E
Oh,
officer has been selected here. That is on Thursday, 5th.
many officer. Yes, participant
Mhm.
feedback.
Yes, that
Yes,
will be on
evaluation and Thursday 5th. Thursday 5th.
Thursday, 5th. Now, I
Yeah.
want you to assume that you are the project manager.
Mm-hmm.
The M&E officer has told you that on that particular day, that is 056, that is June 5th, the M&E
Mm-hmm.
officer will have maybe to attend maybe another meeting somewhere, or maybe he will
Mm-hmm.
be doing something else that is not related to what we are doing, or maybe the M&E officer is absent.
Yeah.
Then how do you account for that?
Okay.
So we go back to project again. We want to check. That is the project, the properties tab. Under the project tab,
Mm-hmm.
we click change working time.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to check to select that officer.
Project manager.
Mhm.
M&E officer. Yeah, I've checked.
You have selected the M&E officer,
Yes.
and we want to add exemption for an M&E officer.
Mm-hmm.
We want to add exemption and check what is going to happen. So we say, we can say the M&E officer, the
Mm-hmm.
M&E, the M&E officer will not be available on this day. Will be available on, will be available on, nataka to select a date. Maybe you can select on 10th or 9th. M&E officer will not be available on. Exemption, we are now exempting the M&E officer.
So will not be available.
Yes, the M&E officer will be available on. I want to select the date, or maybe will not be available. So it's all right. Will not be available
On 5th June.
on 5th. But because we want to schedule this person on a future date, that is why I'm saying will be available on.
Yes, I think will be available.
So we can maybe check. Is there anywhere else we are involving a money officer, because that might also affect the entire calendar for this particular project. But in the meantime, we can work with that.
Mhm.
So that was on, is it 5th June? Yeah, 5th June. That is when the money will be affected. So we backdate that 5th June. So the money officer, that is, you see now 5th June. When you select like that, you are saying the money officer is available, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that the money officer maybe will be available on maybe on 7th.
So you still have yours, Francis. The M&E officer will not be available on.
Will be available. I can change
Yeah. Okay. So will be available on 7th.
on 7th.
Mm.
So I want to see whether our calendar will be affected by indicating that the M&E will be available on this, or will not be available on this particular date. Because we are adding an exemption, let's do this. We are adding an exemption. That means this person will not work on this particular date. So the same date, which is date 5, it's
Yeah.
only taking just a day, date
Yeah.
5. So we are adding an exemption. I had forgotten that we are adding an exemption. So we hit OK. Can you see what is happening on your calendar?
Just sorry, Francis. I just took 3 seconds. My eyes away. So go on the.
On,
You don't move. Let me move. So the M&E officer will be available on which date did we choose?
we are saying we select the M&E. We say that the
Yes,
M&E,
I've selected the M&E. Yes, I've selected the
and I
M&E.
want to pick the M&E officer. I want to add an exemption. The calendar
Yes.
is for M&E. So this person, why is it not
Mm.
picking? I don't know whether it is picking from your end.
Yeah, it will speak to the M&E officer. This
So
calendar standard, and then in the narrative, the M&E officer will be available on. So I wanted that date.
that date
Is yours
5.
not picking?
Date 5 is when the
Date 5.
M&E will be affected,
Yes.
because we are adding an exemption. That means this person will not work on
Mm.
that particular date.
Okay. Okay.
M&E
Will not be available on 5th. Yes.
exactly will not be
Yeah.
available.
Because we're adding an exception.
Yes, will not be
Yeah.
available
On 5th.
then you can see from the calendar it has already highlighted that date 5 is an unworking day. It's an exemption
Yes.
anyway.
Yeah. The calendar has highlighted that one.
So before you hit OK, I want you to check where the M&E officer is appearing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the way it looks like?
Oh, I can move this window, Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes, so where the M&E officer is appearing,
I wonder what happened once we
uh,
click
what?
OK.
Oh, okay, once I click OK.
Mm-hmm.
So can I go ahead and click it?
Yes. I don't
Yes.
know whether
So
there are any changes.
it has gone. It has gone to 9th
Mm-hmm.
June.
Mm-hmm.
How did it select 9th June?
It has forwarded the date because the money will not be available. It was supposed to end at
Okay.
what date?
Uh-huh.
Let me
Can
go
I
back
undo,
again.
please?
Yes. Yes.
Undo will undo.
Yes.
Oh, no, it has not undone.
Control
I'm
Z.
undoing is going back. Eh?
Control Z two times.
Oh yeah. Oh, have I controlled? I thought it was on the 5th. Why has it gone to the 4th?
That
You
is.
remember
Mhm.
he was not to be available on the 5th.
Yes, you will not be available on 5th. What if we say
Hmm.
we go back to the changing working time? We select M&E officer,
Mhm.
and we create a calendar for the M&E officer. We create a calendar for the M&E officer because that person will not be available on 5th, right?
Mm.
So we create a calendar here. We can call it the M&E standard calendar. We just add something here.
So where have you clicked for the create
Oh,
new
sorry, there is this
calendar?
part here. Can you see
Oh, so
this
it's
part?
only because I was on my screen now. I need to come back to yours.
So I can just
So you
exit. You can just exit that part, go back again to working, change working time.
mm, yeah, I'm here now.
And I want us to create a calendar. Can you see this part here?
Yeah, create calendar.
And I want us to maybe create a new base calendar.
All right.
And we are going to type, that is calendar 1, M&E.
Okay.
Then we hit OK. Oh, sorry, I have put a symbol add. Supposed to use calendar
So
1.
that symbol won't work. So I don't. I just type it out.
Yes, yes.
M and E.
Yeah, M&E. Calendar 1, M&E. So we want to create a calendar for this person and say, because this person will not be available on this date, we can try
Mm.
to see.
So I say okay then.
We want to create a calendar for M&E. Are we there?
Yes, I think we're in this. I'm there.
So on work weeks, I want us to type, M&E availability. We can just call it M&E availability and see whether it will
So
pick.
we leave the default like that. Below the default.
Yes, and you make sure that your calendar is calendar 1 for M&E at the top there.
Oh, yes, yes, it's calendar for money.
So we want to select the date.
Mm-hmm.
So once we select the date, we can say that the M&E will be available on 17th.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Then we try to hit OK because the duration for that activity is just a day.
Yeah. It was
And
even 0.5.
it is not actually affecting the M&E. If you look
Mm,
at it,
it hasn't changed.
it's not changing.
Yeah,
So
initially it changed. Mine went to 9th.
yes, 9.
Remember
That was
initially?
exemption.
Yeah, that was exemption. But this
hmm
is a new calendar in the work week.
Yeah, we can go back again to the M&E. We select the M&E officer.
Mm-hmm.
We select the M&E officer,
Mm-hmm.
and we pick the calendar that we have created for M&E officer. Then we try to hit OK. It's not also changing, right?
It's not changing.
We go back again,
Okay.
change working time. We select our M&E officer.
We select M&E officer, not the calendar now, M&E officer.
Then the base calendar is M&E.
Base calendar is calendar on M&E.
Then we try to add or say that the M&E will be available on 17th. There is something that I'm trying to test here.
Okay. So
M&E
we say
availability. We add that one. So can you see the data has already changed?
M&E availability. Now 17th. Yeah.
But it's speaking
So
on what? It is speaking it as what? As an exemption, right?
based on exemption, yeah.
But that is not what we want.
Mm.
We want to create a
We want a work week.
yes, a work week for this person. So
Okay.
we can try to see whether that will now work for us.
So we go to work weeks.
Yes. We can talk about M&E. M&E availability. And check whether it will pick as what? As an exemption.
All right. Then 17th, 17. Based on exception.
So it is picking as an exemption, as a non-working.
17th June is non-working, yes.
Non-working. So now we can now hit the standard calendar here again. We check the standard calendar. So that is the exemption. Work week, that is also the exemption.
So we hit the. Let me see where you are, because my work weeks, if I do the base calendar, I'm not getting the standard. It's talking of 24 hours. Oh, no, standard. I've seen it. Nimeanza kuchoka mapema. Standard, I've seen it. So I say,
Standard
okay,
is here.
we look at it first. Yeah, we are on the same page.
Now, there is something I wanted you to note, that there is what you call the exemption. Now, the availability of the project. For example, we are saying that this M&E officer will be available on 17th, isn't it? So you
Yes.
can go back here and change it manually. But because your calendar is in auto scheduling, you don't have to go back and get rid of auto scheduling. So you check where we have M&E officer, because M&E officer will be available on 17th.
Yes.
Then you select the date. Because you have changed it manually, you can see it has underlined with the red color.
Yeah, seems to conflict with, yeah.
It is telling us there is what? Potential scheduling problem. Because here we are completing, I mean, we are winding up with the group simulation on 4th. So they are now expecting that on Thursday, the same week, we are supposed to start what? Feedback. So what do? You can decide to select this, or you can decide to right click this and you switch it to auto scheduling to make sure that the error disappears. So we can select the entire schedule and we take it back to auto scheduling. But you see now it's taking you to manual scheduling. I mean, not manual scheduling. It is taking us back to where we were. So that means we'll have to go back again and try to adjust our calendar again. So let's go back again to change working time. We can select our project officer. Let me try to create a calendar very fast and see whether this will work for me. That is create a new base calendar for this. M&E officer. It is based on this calendar.
Mhm.
Mm, so calendar one, I want to say that no, that will not work for me.
Mm.
There is something that is not coming out clearly.
Mm. Project.
Hmm.
Uh, you said status update project.
Yes, update the project.
Update project. Set 0 to 100%. So it
Yes,
is here at default. Is that a default?
yes, that is
Set
because we
zero
did
percent
set
to
that.
100%. Yeah.
It's
Mm.
because we set that during the back view setting.
Yeah.
So we can decide now to,
So
uh,
for entire project, yeah, it is also what highlighted for entire project.
so I don't know whether you have realized that it has already selected some activities.
Oh, so I hit OK.
Yes, you hit OK.
All right. So let me just go and
Check
hit
whether
OK.
there are text
Yes,
appearing.
project initiation and kickoff. I don't
Uh-huh.
know how it has selected those ones. Maybe you and
It's
then day one training.
because you have
Mm.
updated your project.
Okay.
You have already updated your project, and we are
Mm.
past now. So if you look at these dates, that is, this one has already been done. This one has been done. Planning has not
Mm.
yet been done. It's supposed to have been done.
Mm.
It has picked some activities
Okay. So how did it pick those two?
automatically because you have already updated the system. Either if you pick, for
Mhm.
example, try to select the second option.
Okay, let me just still go back there.
Mhm. Check whether there is anything that is going to happen.
Set 0% or 100% complete only.
Hmm.
Still those two ticks.
Okay, yeah.
Mind
So it
is
has already
why I like
picked.
it has already picked.
It has picked only 30th,
Mm,
30th May, and also 30th May here.
yes.
It has
Yes,
not
that just that
picked,
yet me.
yeah, 30th May. But you can always
Mm,
select it uh, using the task tab. You say that those activity you select, for example, the initiation phase. You say this one is 100% complete. You go
mm,
back again to planning. You see that one has already been completed like that.
okay.
And still again on the project tab, we can check what you call, for example, there is what you call move the project.
Move the project.
Move
Okay.
the project. The question is, if the activity has not been completed, can you move that project?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at this message that we are getting here, this project contains tasks with actual values. Do you still want to move it? So some work has not been completed, so you may not be able to move this kind of project. But I'll show you how to
Mm,
filter. For
mm,
example, to filter those activities that have been completed, so that they can be hidden from the schedule, so that you can focus on other activities that have not been completed. For the status date,
mm.
it is the actual date when you started your project. So from the project information, there is what you call the status date, this one.
Mm-hmm.
It is the same as what you have here
Yes.
at the top.
Status date. Yeah, it's the
So you
same as
don't
that.
need to focus on that. So you can
Mm,
ignore that because you know it. So that is basically the project tab. Sometimes, sorry, not that one.
mm,
You may have what you call sub projects. If you have another project, maybe you have two projects that you're working on them at the
mm,
same time, you can simply link them. Let me try to link a project here and see what will happen. I want to select this. Can you see this option? This one
Let
at
me
the
go to
corner.
my screen.
Yes, go to your
You're
screen.
still under project. Yes, the sub project.
Sub project.
Hmm.
So the one that I'm doing is community project, and probably I have maybe the bedroom refit. Let me try to bring the
Yes,
bedroom refit. Can you see where the bedroom refit has been
yeah.
combined?
Hmm.
So
How did
now
it align itself there? Was it because of the dates that we used in the bathroom refit?
I believe so, but we'll check.
We
So the
can check.
duration
Okay.
for the project has already changed because I have brought another project.
Hmm.
So we can go ahead and try to open the bedroom refit. Let me check the bedroom refit, the starting date for the bedroom refit. It was starting on, it was actually taking 71 days, and also
Hmm. Yeah. It was from 27th May.
27th May. So I can close this and go back again to that project. Let me
Yeah.
try
So
to.
when you linked them,
Mhm.
it scheduled itself right at 27th May. That's why I was asking how it decided to start from there.
Maybe it's where I had selected. Let me try to add it somewhere after this. After the
Okay.
last activity, let
Oh,
me assume that I'm supposed to add it there and see whether it will pick that bedroom refit. So it is there. So,
it
so
is
the
there.
duration has already picked. So you can have
Hmm.
this project. That is the bedroom refit. So you can work with that, and you can also still accommodate it here because you have the summary of this project. At the same time, you have the summary of the other project. So you can be able to
Hmm.
combine the days and say that the two projects are going to maybe to run for 2 years if they are running concurrently, the two of them. Or you can decide to
Hmm.
open a new tab and you plan for both of them independently. But at the end of the day,
Ah.
because you don't want to forget
Hmm.
that you have another project here, you can save when the two are combined here. You have the main project and you have the sub project. So you'll be planning for everything that you have here, both this one and the other one.
Okay.
Remember, you worked on this independently first, then you have this one,
Yes.
and you have the two now combined.
Yes. Now we are combining them.
Yes, you have the two now combined. So that is the project
Hmm.
tab.
Yeah, it's quite comprehensive.
Yeah. So maybe the other part that we are going to look at tomorrow
Hmm.
is the tab view.
The
Maybe
view
we
tab.
can brush through some items here on the view tab. Then we move
The view
to,
tab.
yeah. You just brush through the view tab. The Gantt chart format
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot. You
Yeah.
can also check it again. We are now winding up the MS
Okay.
project. It's now fine tuning. Then we go. The remaining part that we have not touched actually it is this one, the reporting, and it
The
is very very
the reporting.
important. So we
Okay.
look at view tab, then we move
Hmm.
to resource tab,
Hmm.
then check whether there is anything that we have not touched here. We must
Hmm.
complete all the tabs.
Yeah.
All right, me, I want to end that lesson at that point. I don't know whether that is okay with you.
Okay, Francis. I think I'm to revisit that uh, change working time,
Yeah, that
especially
tab,
on the
project tab.
MNE, especially on the MNE
Mm-hmm.
of availability dates.
Mm,
But I appreciate the way it's working.
okay,
So thank you very much, Francis.
thank you.